all older Americans are entitled to a basic health care for Medicare. Most of us purchase some kind of supplemental program to cover the things that Medicare does not cover. Hello, here's our next video from Resolution Law Group. I'm attorney Scott Ho in Berks County, Pennsylvania. This is an ongoing series of the question, should I put my home in my child's name or children's name in order to protect it? The second video deals with the federal Medicaid program. I want to distinguish Medicare and Medicaid. They don't mean the same thing. All older Americans are entitled to a basic health care for Medicare, and most of us purchase some kind of supplemental program to cover the things that Medicare does not cover. But what Medicare does not provide is full-time care. There are different levels of care when you enter into a facility. The first one is called independent living. That's where you're able to live in an apartment or a cottage, and basically you're part of a community that has other care services, but you're still able to live independently on your own. The second level of care is called assisted living. Assisted living, you're still able to get around, walk around. You might be going to a cafeteria for a meal, but you are able to function, you're able to walk, you're able to go to the grocery store or the beauty salon or something like that. You still have some control and you're able to move around. And then finally, the final level is skilled nursing care. That's basically the same as hospital care, where you are in bed 24/7 and you need round-the-clock nursing care for things like feeding and toileting and the like. So these types of communities that provide those are called a continuum of care community, where you can progress from one level of care to the next level of care, or perhaps if two spouses go into such a community, one spouse may need this care while the other one does not. In regard to the federal Medicaid program, that is a financial means-based test. And once your assets get down to a certain level, now no one dies cold and hungry alone in the streets anymore. We have a governmental social safety net that protects people, and people are not going to die in the streets, going back to Franklin Roosevelt and the New Deal and that legislation. However, there's a financial means test where you must exhaust your financial resources, and the government's smarter than we think they are. If it was just simply as easy, hey, I'm going to clear up my checking account, I'm going to give all my money away, I'm going to sign over my house to my children and everything else, now I'm penniless, and you show up in the government's doorstep and say, oh, please take care of me. Well, you'd be surprised at how many Americans that would be their estate planning option if you could do that. So under the Medicaid program, there's a 5-year look-back window. That means that the agencies, which it's run through the federal government, through the state of Pennsylvania, and then at the county level, where they look back in time, going back 5 years ago, to see whether there was any large disgorgement or transfer of assets. Now, it's not an all or nothing test, meaning it's prorated over time. Just a simple math. If you 2 months ago gave away your checking account and your savings account and any other kind of retirement accounts and signed over your house and your car, well, the recipients of that are going to have to pay for your care up until the level of their gift is extinguished. And the amount of monthly care, if you're going into skilled nursing care, could be pretty expensive every month. If you did that transfer, let's say, 40 months ago, you get a credit for each of those months. So maybe the family has to pay back a little bit, but not everything. So it's prorated over time. Many of my clients come in and they start to ask questions about this 5-year look-back window. They're aware of the 5-year look-back window, but they don't quite seem to understand that we're only talking about the Medicaid means test. many of my clients never are going to get resources down as low as to qualify for Medicaid. Finally, we work with the different nursing homes or institutions, and they have different social workers to complete the paperwork of going through the financial equation. Sometimes we have to separate out the spouse's assets between the husband and wife in order to do the pay down and to qualify for this. The marital home, as long as one spouse is still in the marital home, that's off the equation. The home does not factor into that. Another point that's very important is some nursing homes and facilities accept Medicaid payments and others don't. Here in Berks County, the county home is called Berksheim, and that's a wonderful nursing home. They built a newer nursing home and they provide a very nice level of care, but there's a waiting list to get in there. And then there are some other places that are adequate, but they're not marquee, they're not top shelf types of things. The ones that are the nicest facilities that have swimming pools and gymnasiums and bistros and bars and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's a higher, it's almost like going on a cruise ship, but they don't accept Medicaid payments for their level of care. So once again, you can see that it's complicated, but Medicaid funding is a way where the government will pay for that care after somebody becomes impoverished and they get to the certain poverty level. That's something we can help you analyze. I hope that helps. I'm attorney Scott Ho from Resolution Law Group, and tune in for the next video where we talk about the private pay system. We would be more than happy to help you. Please contact us with the information listed below and find out what's different about the Resolution Law Group. We go above and beyond to provide outstanding customer experience and personalize your estate plan. Thank you very much.